All right, we are following all the movements and votes happening on the Senate floor closely. This is a live look at Capitol Hill, a key Senate test vote on a Republican resolution to end the government shutdown after the Senate rejected a Democrat proposal earlier. New Hampshire Senator Shaheen is here now. Senator, thank you. And where do you fall on this?
Well, I think the reasonable position here is that we should open up government and we should be able to make sure that people can afford their health insurance. And so I'm hopeful that saner heads can come together and reach an agreement that allows us to do both.
So you've been part of the bipartisan back channeling to try to see if there's some sort of common ground here that you can reach over the last few days, meeting with a lot of Republican colleagues in the Senate. How is that effort going?
Well, people are still talking. Obviously, we haven't reached agreement yet, but I think hopefully we're making progress, and I hope the president is also going to weigh in at some point, because this is an issue that matters not just to people who are Democrats or independents, but to Republicans as well. There's a new poll by the Kaiser Family Foundation that shows that 57% of people who identify themselves as MAGA Republicans support extending these tax credits. So let's figure out a way to do that everybody, or the majority, can support.
Fair to say I could be wrong. We hear a little bit of frustration in your voice there, Senator. So who do you hold responsible for letting this get to this point now, day 3 of a government shutdown?
You know, I was a governor. When I was governor, I worked with my Republican legislature to figure out how we could address the issues facing the people of New Hampshire. That's what we need in Washington, and I would like to see leadership on both sides of the aisle coming together to figure out how to get this done. And I think getting the president to engage with the congressional leadership is also important.
So, Senator, you were an original supporter of these enhanced Obamacare tax credits, the sunset date of which was set by Democrats in the Inflation Reduction Act as the end of December of this year. Why fight this battle in a continuing resolution? The House Speaker, Mike Johnson, has said, look, all we're trying to do is keep government open. We've got some more work to do on these budget bills that are before Congress, and we could talk about these tax credits in that time. I mean, you've still got 3 months before these expire. So why Republicans say you're holding the nation hostage on this issue. Why not just get the government back open and then negotiate on the tax credits?
Well, the credits don't expire until December, but the reality is that insurance companies are now setting their rates this month. People are going to start to enroll in health insurance November the 1st. And what we know, if we do nothing, that we've heard a number of studies that have pointed out, including the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, that say the cost of premiums are going to double for most of the people who are getting those credits, and that's a real problem for people because they won't be able to afford their health insurance. And it's a problem for people in red states and blue states. You know, over 70% of people who benefit from these premium tax credits are in states that President Trump won in the election. So I think there's a lot of interest on both sides of the aisle in what we can do to address this, because everybody understands it's a problem. If we don't fix it, we're going to have 4 million people who are going to lose their health insurance. And the CBO, the nonpartisan CBO, has said it gets worse the later we wait to fix it. So 1.5 million people, if we don't fix it until December, will immediately lose their health insurance. And 24 million people are going to see their costs go up. So this is something that we ought to be able to come together to address.
Okay, so are you a no vote then?
I am a no vote.
Okay, one real quick follow-up to that. You know, there's a lot of talk about, the division within your party. AOC says this is Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries that are dividing the party. Otherwise, she says her caucus is united. I think she said tremendously united. What really is going on inside the Democrat Party right now?
Well, I can't speak to what AOC or anybody else says. What I can tell you is that the way to fix this is for us to work across the aisle with our Republican colleagues and come to what is a reasonable fix that addresses their concerns, that addresses our concerns, and that makes sure people can still afford their health insurance.
All right, Senator,
that's my goal.
we'll leave you to it. We'll see if any work can get done this weekend. Thank you for spending time with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.